Hello world and welcome. Today we're gonna test if I can combine two server power supplies with some mining equipment to power up my mini PC HomeLab, and how the power is distributed, if it's equal, and in the end, if everything is great, then if we can hot swap power supplies. So that means if we remove one, if the other can take over to take the full load, and if we can connect it back to the full load. So stay tuned. For today's journey, we're gonna use this, the same equipment. We're gonna use the same 2000 watt power supplies, but two. We're gonna use the same breakout boards from Parallel Miners. We tested the limitations, so we know. If you haven't, I will link it somewhere above. Two load testers and DC to AC converter. I added another two wires here so we can push more watts safely. I pre-made the wires to connect the breakout boards to, how they call it, the island. So let's talk about this board. Again, this is from Parallel Miners for $24 US, cheap, cool. The limitation of it is 3200 watts. I think we won't able because I don't have that much gear to pull the wattage out of it. I did some modification on it. Originally it comes with 5 pins, sorry, connectors, not pins. I added the 6th one, so we have 6 inputs. So the wires that come to input are cooler, but there will be a limitation that we need to test is these ones. So this is just a 24 pin ATX connector, and it acts like a bridge. Why? No idea. Like for safety, okay, when you need it like to pull this out, like it's tough. So I have no idea why it's there. So it had 16 AVG wires in it, so this is going to be our limitation. I want to see how it performs and when it's get hot. We will definitely push 2000 watts over this board to see, or even more, to see how it performs. Yeah, at this point, let's just do some testing again with a thermal camera. But I think we need to change the timing from 1 hour to 30 minutes. First, let's put a 1440 watts. That is the official limitation of this board, and see what happens. Damn, it doesn't look good. So if this board is rated for 3020 watts, that means each of the inputs should take 800 watts. At this point I pushed it to 880 watts. Yeah, 3.5 minutes it went to 90. Damn. Okay, let's make it lower. From previous testing, I was frustrated with results that I cannot push 800 watts from each of the connectors. So this board is max capacity, like the power is 3200 watts. So that means each of these are meant for 800 watts, like minimum or maximum, like if you connect all of them. So I debugged, first started with the solder joints which are below here, add some solder to them, results were the same. Then I checked these cables. These cables are marked as 16 AVG. I'll put a picture. And for 80 degrees Celsius maximum. The wires that I use, these ones, these are the same, 16 AVG. So what I did is to build my own. So they're rated the same. But from the results, they were totally different. All the tests were for 30 minutes. For the original, on 700 watts, it was 66 degrees. On 800 watts, which is like the rated, the temperature was 110 degrees Celsius. So if I wouldn't test this, I would burn my house down. Like, come on, like these are rated maximum for 80. It is like 110, like that's a fire hazard. Like, come on, like, no. Then I did redo all the testing with my cable. So for 700 watts, the temperature was 38. For 800 watts, it was 42. For 1000 watts, which is more than it's rated, but it was fine, it was 62 degrees. For 1200 it was 70 degrees, and 1400 it was 82 degrees. All the tests were for 30 minutes. So it means that this cable is not 16 AVG, it's not 18 AVG, it's not even 20, like 20 AVG is rated for 5 amps. This is much lower than 5 amps, so we're pulling 5.3 amps at the 1800 watts, and it was 110 degrees. So it's I have no idea, like this is shit. So at this point, removing all the wires and making my own. We will try to connect 2 of the power supplies together, put some load on it. I would say 2000 watts, right? Easy. So we need to power this thing on. This, let's see the voltage in amps. So let's say if we have 2000 watts, let's guess that it's gonna be, I don't know, 53 volts. Sorry. We need this divided by this, so it should be, yeah, okay, let's do it. First, let's give it some more load. Yeah, we pull. Let's add some more. 155, 156. Let's check the voltage. So it's at the moment 61. Okay, 61, 62. And let's increase the I would say 157 amps. Okay, let's do a half an hour test and see what we see on the thermal camera. We are half an hour in. The load cable is at 62 degrees. And yeah, 62 degrees on our new made cables. Cool. So we're pulling 158 amps at the voltage, so we're pulling all 2 kilowatts from both power supplies. I want to see how it looks on one of them. So it's 79. So yeah, we're good. We are really good on the amps between both power supplies. Now I want to try hot swapping, but before that let me explain how it all works. So the power supply is in your server. To remove it, you need to remove the AC cable. Then you hold it and you remove it. So it's disconnected already before the board. So I made this 3D print. The idea is in the server, when you slide it in, it clicks in, so you can't pull it out. So at that point, if your AC is plugged in, you can't put it in. So that means first you need to put it inside. That means all the DC connections are made, and then you put the AC plug. So it's not AC plug and plug it in. So for the hot plug test, we're gonna start slow. So I know that if I switch on these both, the heat gun and my hair dryer, is gonna be 2000 watts. I don't know what's gonna happen, so let's start slow. Let's put on the clamps so we see all the amps. So it's 35 amps from both of them. Let's unplug it. And plug it in. It's on. Cool. So now let's do that we see from one. So now we're looking only at the furthest, I don't know, you see it or from that power supply. So it's 17 amps. Let's unplug it. Great. 35. Plug it in. And it takes over part of it, and yeah, we're good. Okay, let's crank it more. So we're pulling 86. Yeah, because these won't work on 2000 watts, we're gonna make it fast. So 44 amps from one, remove the plug, 87, plug it back in. Okay, we're cool. So at this point I know it's 2000 watts from both of them. So one is pulling 79.6. Remove. So one now is pulling 158 at the voltage that we know. It's few thousand watts. Yes, ramping up. Let's plug this in. And it's stable. Woohoo! It works. It worked. So, conclusion time. What we have learned. Don't trust the wires as they are marked. Don't trust the supplier or manufacturer of the product. You can hot swap to server power supplies without the 19-inch server, and it's possible to the full load. But remember, you can't put any two power supplies together. So there needs to be some wiring done. Like these are meant for this, so they have all of that inside. So yeah, for the HomeLab, yeah, you can definitely put 2 or 4 or whatever. At this point, I will use this board. Do I recommend it? Not actually. So I haven't tested it for the full 3200 watts. I don't have the equipment to do that, not amount of the load, and then I won't need. I could put on in this. Sorry. So yeah, at this point, as a redundancy for 2000 watts, yeah, it's workable, and I will use it. So see you next one. Bye.